And so begins leg 2 of our journey.
Now that we are freshly showered, we are here in the Doha business class lounge. We are waiting our last flight to Malé. We have about 3, 4, maybe 5 hours left. I don't even know what time it is, but we know it's dinner time. They actually have multiple dining options in this lounge. We're in this quieter section where they have sandwiches, salads that you can order. And then there is also a whole other buffet and a la carte menu on the other side of the lounge. We're gonna go check that out after, but first we're gonna dig in. Hello. I feel like the theme of this flight is champagne. Any time is good time.
We are enjoying our last meal before we hop on our next flight. They're actually in the more fine dining area. They have a buffet, you can order a cart, they have a sushi bar. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm very excited about sushi.
It honestly takes so long to walk from one end to the other, and they have everything. They have a game center, a business center, they have places to sleep, they have places to shower, they have places specifically for families, they have multiple dining areas, and we couldn't get the exact square footage, but they were telling us that it's well over 1,000 square meters. There are certain terminals in the United States that I have been in that are smaller than this lounge is. They said that before COVID, their overall capacity was about 850 people or so, but that's like 850 people with more than enough room for each person. This thing is the size of like a small stadium. I mean, it's actually kind of ridiculous. The only lounge that they have like this is in Qatar, so if you are flying or making a connection through Doha with business class, this is when you're going to get the opportunity to stay in this particular lounge. It's really an incredible experience, and honestly just kind of fits with the entire experience we've had overall with Qatar Business so far. For our next flight, we're actually going to be on a 777, and I'm going to let Marin tell you a little bit more about how that's going to differ from our last flight, which was on an A350.
So Boeing 777, it is going a much shorter distance. Our flight's only about 5 hours. We were business seats, but we are really excited. It's an overnight flight. We leave at 1 a.m., but we get into the Maldives right around 8 a.m., which is perfect timing to jump on that seaplane and get to our first hotel. So we can't wait to show you what that plane looks like. Boeing 777. It is a much shorter flight, so it's less than 5 hours. It is overnight. Our amenity kit is smaller and they do not have turn down service. However, the amenity kit comes with a very comfortable pair of socks, mask, what else is in this bag of tricks, and this lip balm. Very exciting. We also do have the same blankets, pillows, and everything else is the same. We're just not gonna have the mattress topper. But I am very excited. If you notice, Max and I are sharing our couples pod on this short overnight flight. Would you like the chicken or the pork?
Taking off backwards, your seat is actually facing the back of the plane.
Front of the plane.
Front of the plane. Front of the plane. We are facing the wrong direction, if you're picking up on that. It's a little different.
My stuff is staying on the table though.
That is true. So your stuff actually stays where it's supposed to.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
So if you watched the first segment of this flight, when we flew the A350 from San Francisco to Doha, you'll know that Marin and I were in the window seats. If you haven't seen that video already, make sure to check it out up here in the top corner. It's the first part of our segment flying from San Francisco to the Maldives on Qatar's QSuite. But here we are in the QSuite again, and this time we actually have the center seat. And there's a couple different center seats that you can get. But the best ones are actually the ones where your back is facing the front of the plane, because these actually have a layout that are slightly closer to together. And so if you are a couple, you have the advantage of being able to literally be in what's basically like a love seat in the middle of the sky.
Yeah.
And so on this particular flight, they're not actually going to make these into beds because it is a shorter flight. It's only about 4.5 hours, but typically on a long haul flight, they make this into a bed, and so you essentially have one bed in a completely enclosed suite that is just for the two of you. And so that is absolutely the best experience you can have if you're flying as a couple. Now, if you're flying as a family, this is also a great seat because not only do you have these two seats here, but right in front of us, these two TVs actually slide open, and you can open it up to the two seats on the other side that face you and essentially create a 4-person suite. It's a really cool layout that they have on this plane.
It is a very short flight. So we're in it for a little bit of a nice dinner, nice glass of champagne, and then we're gonna take a little nap before we land in the Maldives.
Enjoy. This is actually suite.
I feel like I'm in a private hotel room right now. Check this out. No one can see us. Pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome. Kind of bummed this is only 4.5 hours. We actually probably should sleep because it is overnight. Should we sleep? I was like in between. We should definitely sleep. I don't know.
It is the middle of the night in the Maldives. So yes, we should be sleeping.
Or we can stay up and then we'll be acclimated to the time zone.
Is that how that works?
Have a think.
It's a bit bumpy. Your sparkling water.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This is your chicken. Along with it,
It's like a deconstructed salad.
sweet central risotto. Enjoy.
This is the remote on the 777. Basically the exact same software on the inside as the remote was on the A350. However, layout wise, you get more the Game Boy looking style versus the kind of Android phone. I'm actually kind of leaning a little bit more towards the one that they had on the A350. Still, you're looking at the same software for your remote. For those of you that prefer the remote, particularly when you're super reclined back in your seat. Down in Malé. What an amazing trip it has been.
This flight was way too short. I could have stayed here another 20 hours. Qatar Airways is honestly such an incredible experience. There's no surprise they've won awards every year.
One thing that we really want to say is that it's not just us that's saying this. People that we've talked to on this flight, our neighbors, people that were on our last flight coming from San Francisco to Doha. It's not just the product, the QSuite, that is such a great business class product and such a great leisure product, but it's honestly just how great the staff is. I mean, every member of the flight crew, whether it's on board here on the planes or any Qatar staff that you interact with at boarding gates, at any of the various lounges, everybody's just been incredible.
Yeah, it's just like hospitality is really why they're in the business, and you can tell every time you talk to someone. It's just been an amazing experience, and we cannot wait to fly them on the flight home as well.
Well, we have touched down here in Malé.
It is time to get off this plane. As amazing as it's been, get our luggage and get to our hotel.
we have arrived here in Malé. We finally got our bags. It did take a little bit of time, but one thing for sure to note is if you are flying business class, there is on the far left-hand side, right where the flight crew goes through, a special security line. We couldn't film it, obviously, because you can never film security or any customs going into a country, but it's a really important thing to know that that line is there because it'll save you a lot of time.
Yeah, and when you do arrive in the Maldives, after you go through customs and get your luggage, you're gonna find this big hall like we're in right now, where all of the hotels will have a kiosk. So you find the hotel that you're staying at, and they take care of all of the seaplane, boat, plane transfers for you. So you meet them there, head to the lounge, and then you're on your way to your hotel.
But for now, that's gonna wrap up our video flying here to the Maldives. Stay tuned for a lot of other videos that are coming out soon, hotel reviews and vlogs of our entire experience at each hotel. Found this video useful? Make sure to give us a thumbs up.
And be sure to subscribe. And if you want to catch our daily tips, check us out on TikTok at Voyager Guru and on Instagram at Voyager Guru. And as always, I'm Marin.
And I'm Max.
And we're Voyager Guru. See you out there.